Ray Minkowski, not sitting in FitWorkz hybrid training gym. As you can tell, if you've tuned in our previous videos, I've got a bit of a cold. Welcome to the Midwest, crazy dry temperatures in your house, kids, hundreds of customers coming and going from your facility, and maybe being a little bit short on the sleep side of things. If you got questions today, by all means, throw them out there. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm actually running the camera by myself, and I don't have the benefit of my right hand camera people today. Anyways, a couple topics. This has come up twice in the last week with clients of ours. One, meal timing and how many times should I eat. We're working with a client who lives in another community. He's about an hour from here. He had questions about meal timing. He's got somewhat of an abnormal sleep and work schedule. It's a little bit different than the normal 9 to 5 crowd. His question was, how do I split up my meals? Does it matter? What order should I eat them in? On and on and on. And his example was, what happens if I go to bed at 1:30 a.m. and I'm up at 8? And then on the weekends, I like to sleep in and kind of catch up on my sleep. Well, first of all, there's nothing terribly sacred that says you have to eat 4 to 6 meals a day. We've talked about this before. If 6 meals just is not going to happen for you, don't worry about it. Maybe your goal is to eat 5. If 4 meals is going to be a struggle, then maybe it's just 3 or the old 3 squares or what have you. But the bottom line is we need to make your meals fit your lifestyle. Same thing with, I don't have time to have eggs or whatever for breakfast. Great, maybe you need to have a protein bar or a protein shake. It doesn't matter the order. Don't get hung up on, I have to get 6 meals a day. Don't sweat it. You know, if you're going to bed at 1:30, you're up at 8 in the morning, split your meals. And what I had suggested was, quite simply to this individual, again, it's up at 8 a.m. to bed around 1 or 1:30. Why don't you just eat at 8:30 a.m., noon, 4, 8, and at midnight? Call it a day. Is it perfect? No, but perfect doesn't exist. Perfect doesn't matter. It's still, most importantly, something that is going to complement the client's schedule. And because it's going to complement his schedule, he's going to stick with it. Next step, on the weekend, he tries to get caught up on sleep. Great. If you don't get all the meals in because you got a few extra hours of sleep, don't worry about it. Maybe on the weekends, you consistently get 4 meals. At the end of the day, or better yet, the end of the year, if you get 300 good days, the other 65 just won't seem to matter much. Cholesterol in kids. This had me fired up 2 weeks ago. I saw a blurb on the news. This is the second or third time I've seen this. They're beginning to market knowing the number of cholesterol for kids. This is the same way they marketed cholesterol medicine to adults. Know your numbers, know your numbers, know your numbers. Unfortunately, it's only one part of the picture. The news piece that I saw alluded to there's a relationship with obesity and cholesterol. There's no doubt that there is, but if we take care of the obesity, we probably don't have to worry about the cholesterol. As a former overweight, husky, on again, off again, fat kid from when I was little up into my late teens, early adulthood, I can tell you I vividly remember going for a physical as I left 8th grade and was getting ready for high school, and my mom asking my doctor, our family physician, if I needed to have my cholesterol checked. Now, I'm absolutely terrified by needles. The last thing I ever want to do is get stuck. So I'm like, Mom, are you kidding me? And I looked at the doctor, and I'm like, does that mean you have to take more blood? And he took an extra vial out. He's like, well, we're going to take 2 of these. And we're going to take this big one for cholesterol. But for people his age, it's really not an issue. And I'm not that old. I'm 40 years old. I'm not going to say that we just didn't know any better back in the late 80s. I would say that the doctor was working from experience, and back then cholesterol wasn't an issue. What I'm concerned, and the reason I bring this up, I'm concerned that we're going to turn cholesterol into the boogeyman. We're going to medicate the kids to control cholesterol instead of addressing the real issue, which is lack of activity, too much processed, refined foods, overabundance of highly processed carbohydrates, which I'm not a doctor, not prescribing anything, not practicing medicine, not telling anybody to not take their Lipitor or any other Crestor or any other cholesterol medicine. We're not addressing the fact that quite possibly the kids are impairing liver function. As a result, lipids are high and it's showing up as elevated cholesterol in a blood test. I think the much more important or the bigger opportunity to help our kids is take a look at why they have the issue, work our way back from that. And again, we say this all the time, if you get your health and your wellness and your weight loss right, you do get all three. They come together in a bundle. If we take care of the health, we're going to get the wellness and weight loss. If we take care of the weight loss, we're going to get the health and wellness. It scares the daylights out of me that we're going to start encouraging parents to ask their doctors, check their kids' cholesterol, what are the numbers, give me some medicine. That's not going to do anything for BMI is, I'm sorry, it's stupid. But that was part of one of the news clips I saw on youth cholesterol levels, obesity, etc. It's not going to address the BMI, which is inaccurate, at least for adults. That's another whole discussion. I just don't want to see kids getting their blood work done because parents want to know the numbers. They're elevated, so we put them on cholesterol medicine, and we haven't taken care of what's really the bigger concern, which is activity and nutrition. Progress. Talked a little bit about this. I can't say this enough. The most motivating thing on the planet is progress. Social media might be a close second. I've been watching and starting to engage a lot more on Instagram, #EatByColor. Instagram, #EatByColor. There is no question. I've watched this evolve over the last couple of years on Facebook. Social media is crazy powerful at helping you stay on track. There's nothing more motivating than seeing somebody just like you out there in the digital world making it happen. There's nothing like seeing somebody that maybe you look at and you're like, wow, they're bigger than I was. Wow, I'm a single mom, I'm struggling, I'm working, going to school, and she lost 100 pounds. Maybe I can do it too. So get out there and leverage the power of social media. The last thing, I got questions by email about this earlier today, is what happens if I don't live in your market and I want to learn more about Eat by Color? Actually, I got two questions, one from a personal trainer and one from a potential client. Two things. One, you can always go get Eat by Color. You can go to Amazon, you can buy Eat by Color, you can go to eatbycolor.com. We're selling print Eat by Color. I'll even sign it for 20 bucks. Otherwise, you can jump on Amazon. You can get it for Kindle. You can go to Barnes & Noble and get it for your Nook. You can go to iTunes, the App Store, and pick up the iBook for your iPhone or your Apple mobile device. So that's out there. Digital training, thanks to technology, that's an opportunity as well. If you're interested, check us out. Shoot me a message. You can find me at Eat by Color on Twitter, #EatByColor. On Instagram, by all means, you can post something here. If anybody has any questions, ask them. Be more than happy to answer them. If not, thanks for tuning in. If you're watching this on Facebook, you have questions, would love to hear from you. Simply post right there below the video.